Hey everybody, just want to firstly say I'm not a vlogger, nor am I a blogger, but I feel like I had a good story that I wanted to share, and I don't feel like my story is necessarily much different than any other female who has gone through bad relationships, but I just felt like I needed to share how I got to this place. And what I mean when I say how I got to this place is we're a place where I'm really happy, like genuinely happy. I've never been happier in my life. So I just kind of wanted to share my experience and my realizations and kind of what got me to this point. So, I started in high school, had a high school boyfriend, loved him so much. I was a shy girl, he was the popular guy. I thought we were going to get married, and then he broke up with me for my neighbor. And, it might sound crazy, but I'm very grateful he broke up with me when he did, because when he broke up with me, I went home and was talking to my dad about it, and my dad was a early to bed, early riser kind of guy, but he stayed up a little later to help his baby girl through her first heartbreak, and not knowing that was the last conversation I was going to have with my dad, because he didn't wake up the next morning. So, I'm very grateful that he broke up with me when he did, because it gave me my last conversation with my dad. But I will say my dad passing away was the start of me making bad decisions when it comes to relationships. Do I feel I would have made the same bad decisions if my dad was still alive? I don't know. Who's to say? But I will say that I took that ex back after my dad passed, just because I was in a vulnerable place and I wanted somebody, who already knew me. I wanted that comfort. So I did take him back after that, even though he didn't deserve it. So it kind of, after my dad passed, that was kind of, I had started my cycles or my patterns that I had to realize when I was older. But pattern number one, taking people back chance after chance when they haven't done anything to show you that they deserve those chances. So that's pattern number one. Me and my high school boyfriend broke up, and shortly after I went into a new relationship in college as a freshman in college. And that goes to my second realization. I did not give myself time to heal in between relationships. I literally would jump from one relationship to the next, or in between relationships, I would either still be trying to fix it with an ex or talking to a new person. So I was literally never by myself. So I feel like that's something along the way that I made a mistake on. Not giving myself time to heal from the previous relationship, not giving myself time to be by myself and kind of figure myself out and learn about myself. But so me and my college boyfriend, we got together in 2009. We broke up in 2010, but we got back together in 2013. And in between that time, my brother passed away. And, with my brother passing away, it was very hard because, when my dad passed away, devastating, right? But when my brother passed away, I felt like a piece of me died too. So what that did for me, and what I had to learn later, is that I was literally clinging on to people who necessarily weren't good for me because I was trying to fill the void. I had to have a best friend because my best friend just passed away. So I need a best friend. I don't have my brother anymore, so who's going to be my best friend now? So, I was looking for people or holding on to people who I thought, oh, somebody has to make me laugh like my brother makes me laugh. Somebody has to be there so I can vent to like I used to vent to my brother. And because of that boy, not even realizing I was doing it, I went back to an ex, because it was familiar. He knew me. Nobody had to learn me. You know, I was comfortable. Like, I was comfortable with my brother. Knowing that it wasn't necessarily the best decision. So, you know, that's just a hard realization I had to come to. So, after me and my college boyfriend broke up again, that relationship ended so bad that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And literally, this is where another thing I had to realize about myself, that I was so ready to be over my college boyfriend that I was running from him, like running, not looking where I was going, not realizing that I'm running into another bad situation, face first into another bad situation. Because I'm so focused on trying to get away from this one that I'm not looking that I'm on the same path to the same stuff I was just dealing with, you know? So my graduate school boyfriend, that was not a good situation either. And again, didn't give myself time to heal from my college boyfriend. Ran right into a relationship. You know, giving chance after chance after chance when they didn't prove that they deserved it. So I was literally repeating all the same patterns. Same thing for my, the relationship before the current one that I'm in. Literally went from my graduate school boyfriend to that boyfriend. There was no time to heal. Even with all of my exes, there were no clean breaks. So it wasn't like, all right, we broke up, I'm not talking to you no more. It was always like, oh, we gonna work on it. We still gonna kick it. We still gonna do this. No clean breaks. That's not healthy either. So, you know, it was just a lot of stuff that I was repeating. And after my last boyfriend, I really had to look at myself in the mirror. Because at what point do you stop blaming the ain't, you know, shoot dudes, the bad dudes? When do you start taking accountability for your part? You know, you play a role in this. So I had to take a long look at myself in the mirror and say, all right, Sheila, what about you is picking these types of dudes? All right, what about you is letting these guys treat you this way? Because people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. What about you is broken where you're attracting these broken men? So those are the things that I really had to ask myself. And when I start asking myself those questions, my life began to change. I literally started looking at relationships and things differently. And I'll be honest, when I got my job in my high school, that almost solidified the changes in me. Because at that point, I was like, I'm a boss. I will be just fine by myself. I'm happy. I have a good job. I'm living life. Like, I look good. I would rather be single for the rest of my life than put up with some BS, you know? And I had finally got to that point where I was just done with it. And I refused to settle just to say I had somebody or just to fill a void that I thought I could feel. And to be honest, I can never fill that void in my brother, you know? But those are the realizations I had to do. I had to make a conscious effort to stop my patterns. Conscious effort. I stopped ignoring the red flags because we all do it. We all make excuses for the red flags. We all try to hide from the red flags. And I had to make a conscious effort to stop. It's okay to cut somebody off after they show you the first red flag. You don't have to give them a chance like, oh, maybe they're having a bad... No. Stop feeling guilty for that. If you know what you want, you know who you are, cut them off. It's done. You don't want that. So I had to make a conscious effort to really stick to what I wanted, not wasting any time, and just keep it moving. And knowing that I will be okay the next day if I'm not talking to somebody. You know, being okay with being alone was amazing. And me taking responsibility for my own life changed my life. it was powerful, because at that point, I'm not just pointing my fingers at all these guys. I'm like, oh, woe is me. I just keep bumping into all these terrible guys and all this stuff. Everything that I used to tell myself, that a lot of y'all used to tell yourself. But at some point, I was just like, you know what? If a bad guy bumping into me, I'm not even going to let you get close enough to even do that to me. So, boom, we done. Like, first sign, you're out. So, you know, and I feel like I had to get to that point in my life that I was stern with what I wanted. I knew what I wanted from a man. I knew what I wanted from a relationship. I knew that I wanted something serious. I wasn't trying to play around. I had to get to that point in my life. I had to get to a point where I was okay with being single. I had to get to a point where I wasn't looking for a relationship anymore. I had to get to that point for me to find where I needed to be, or who I needed to be with. You know, and I tell Gerald this all the time, that, you know, when we met in 2011, we kind of dated a little bit. I tell him all the time, I was not the woman you needed back then. Because even though I kind of knew what I wanted from a man, I didn't even know myself yet. I wasn't even strong enough of a woman to demand what I wanted from a man. And it wasn't until that moment where I became strong enough that I wasn't going to take it. I know what I want, and if you can't give me what I want and what I need, I'm done. I wasn't strong enough as a woman back then to be the woman that he needs today. You know, so I had to go through all that. I had to go through those realizations to get to a point where now I'm in a happy relationship. I mean, one of our first conversations was like, hey, like, I want to be married one day. You want to be married one day. We're not going to waste time if this is not going to work, you know? And those are not conversations that I used to have back in the day when I wasn't stern about what I wanted, you know, what I expected, all that stuff. So, you know, it's just amazing how your life can change when you start taking accountability for your own actions. I can't help it that my dad and my brother passed away, but I can control my bad decisions that I made because of that. I can change that. I can change the way I view relationships. I can take responsibility for my part. And when I do that, baby, the floodgates of love just open and shine on me. But, yeah, I just feel like it's important. You really have to ask yourself those hard questions. What do you want? What in you feels like you deserve those red flags? What in you feels like you deserve to ignore the red flags? You know, what about you is broken that's attracting broken people? And once you figure all that out and answer those questions and heal yourself, you good. You healthy relationship is a step away after that. But honestly, you have to fix yourself first. It ain't everybody else all the time. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror. And it's hard. But once you do it, you feel different. You know? Feel like a different person. So, that's how I got here. That's how I got to be happy. I looked in the mirror. That's it.